Do you own a phone? If so, then it's possible to make over $300 per day with it if you know what to do. And in this video, I'm going to be going over 18 side hustles that you can do from your phone to make money online. And I'm not only going to be sharing these side hustles with you, but I'm also going to be ranking them based off of how passive they are, how easy they are to start, and their earning potential. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. The first side hustle we're going over is running faceless YouTube channels. Now you're probably asking, Matt, how in the world do I run a YouTube channel just using my phone? Well, not only is it possible to use only a phone, but you can also do YouTube without ever even showing your face. The way it works is you first of all choose a niche or a category of content. And if you're wondering which niche to choose, feel free to check out my video right here on the 30 best niches to do faceless YouTube channels in right here. And then what you do is you write scripts, and you can do this completely within the Google Docs app on your phone. And then you record voiceovers using your phone's built-in voice recorder app. And you can find royalty-free stock footage from all of these websites right here that you can use in your videos. And you can simply go to these websites on your phone's browser and download them onto your phone. And then finally, for editing your video, you can use the PowerDirector mobile app, which is completely free. Now, the way that you actually make money doing this is once you get monetized on YouTube, YouTube will actually place ads on your video and you will get paid for every single view that you get. Now, I personally make over $30,000 per month just from ad revenue between my dozen or so YouTube channels. And if you want to actually look over my shoulder and see me create a video on my phone from complete scratch, then feel free to check out the video that popped up right here. And I'll also be sure to link that down in the description for you as well. Now, let's rank this phone side hustle. For ease of starting, it gets a 3 out of 10 since some things can be a little bit complicated to set up on your phone, but it's definitely possible, and once you get your channel up and rolling, it can get a lot easier. For passiveness, however, this side hustle gets an 8 out of 10. And that's due to the fact that once you upload videos to YouTube, they live as long as YouTube is around. So I'm still personally making money from videos that I uploaded back when I was a teenager. And for earning potential, this one gets a 10 out of 10. If you're watching videos like this, you probably know that YouTube channels can make millions upon millions of dollars. I'm not saying you're going to if you start a YouTube channel, but the potential is there. Side hustle number 2 is FOAP. FOAP is a mobile application where you can make money from taking photos or videos. All you do is upload photos or videos that you take using your phone, and these might even be photos or videos that you already have. And then if a company wants to buy them, you give 50% of the money that they pay. And apparently most photos on FOAP sell for around $10, meaning that you'd get half of that, you'd get $5 per photo sold. And you can also take part in what are called missions on the app, and that's simply where a company gives you a brief that you then follow to take specific photos or videos that they might need. And then these companies can use these images in their marketing materials or anywhere else, and you might even see your photos pop up on marketing campaigns, billboards, magazines, or other stuff. Now, the reason that companies do this is that it's typically cheaper to go through an individual person with generating user-generated content as opposed to hiring an expensive photography firm or paying for expensive stock photos. Now, let's rank this side hustle. For ease of starting, it gets an 8 out of 10, and that's due to the fact that all you have to do is download an app and sign up for an account. But for passiveness, this one only gets a 2 out of 10, and the reason for that is that you constantly have to be doing more and more jobs in order to keep making money. So it's not like that amazing YouTube side hustle that we went over in number 1, where you do the work once and can get paid for it for a long time into the future. And for earning potential, this one gets a 3 out of 10. You're probably not going to get super rich doing this. However, it could get you some spare cash on the side. Side hustle number 3 is Google Opinion Rewards. Now, trust me, I know there's a ton of scammy survey websites out there, and if you've ever looked into making money online, you may have come across a few of them. However, one of the biggest companies in the world, Google, which owns the website that I'm talking to you on right now, YouTube, they actually also have a mobile application called Google Opinion Rewards, where you sign up and you simply answer questions, and then Google will pay you a little bit of money for each survey that you do. Now, don't expect to make a full-time income with doing these surveys. However, you can just make a little bit of spare cash on the side doing this. So the way that this works is you download the app onto your phone, and then Google will send you surveys around once per week, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on how many surveys that they have. And they'll ask you all kinds of seemingly random questions just to acquire data for their company to then become more profitable. And as an example of a question they might might ask, just to show how random it can be. They might ask, which of the following desserts from around the world are you most familiar with? And then the options might be like cookies, brownies, flan, or gelato. And then all you simply have to do is check one of those and then in turn get paid. And Google will pay you up to $1 for each survey that you complete. Now let's rank this side hustle. For ease of starting, it gets a 10 out of 10. You can't get much easier than downloading an app and answering questions. For passiveness, obviously it's going to be really low, only 1 out of 10, and that's due to the fact that you have to constantly be doing more surveys to keep making money. And for earning potential, it only gets a 1 out of 10. You're not going to become super wealthy doing this, but you can make some side cash. Phone side hustle number 4 is becoming a juicer. Now, have you ever seen those electric scooters that just lay around cities? Well, you can actually take advantage of this new trend of these electric scooters popping up by signing up to become what's called a Lime juicer. Lime is a company that offers these scooters for rent, and the way that these scooters stay charged is that people have to go in and actually charge them, and you can get paid doing so. All you have to do is download the app and sign up to become what is called a juicer if it's available within your city. And they'll actually pay you between $20 and $30 per hour just to charge these scooters. Now, unfortunately, you do have to be an adult in order to do this. Unlike with running YouTube channels, you can be literally any age. I started my YouTube channels when I was just 14, and by the time I was 15, I was making $3,000 per month, but that's a separate story. When it comes to charging these Lime scooters, they're available in a ton of different countries all around the world. But if you can't find one available within your country, just look up electric scooter charging gigs near me and see if there's an equivalent service that you could sign up for if this is something that you're interested in. Now, for ranking this side hustle, for the ease of starting, it gets a 4 out of 10 due to the fact you do have to be an adult, you do have to have a car and actually drive around and do this. For passiveness, it gets a 2 out of 10 since you have to keep charging scooters to keep making money. And for earning potential, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10 since $20 to $30 per hour is pretty good. Phone side hustle number 5 is voiceovers. Did you know that you can actually make money just by talking? Well, it turns out that phone microphones nowadays have gotten really good, and you don't even need an expensive microphone to potentially make money doing voiceovers, literally just using your phone's built-in audio recorder app. Now, the way that this works is you advertise your voiceovers on places like Fiverr.com, where you can create a gig in order to advertise your voice, record a couple samples of your voice saying just random things. If you need examples, look at the other voiceover gigs on Fiverr. And then when somebody buys your gig, they'll send you a script to record, and you literally just read it and then talk into your phone's microphone, send it back to the client, and get paid. And many people have made full-time careers out of doing voiceovers, and I personally have paid tens of thousands of dollars to voiceover artists for all of my different YouTube channels over the years. Now let's rank this phone side hustle. For ease of starting, this one gets a 9 out of 10. I almost guarantee you if you have a phone right now, it has an audio recorder built into it. And if not, you can simply download an app that has one. And advertising your voice on places like Fiverr or Upwork.com is very easy. For passiveness, it gets a 2 out of 10. You do have to continue recording voiceovers in order to keep the money flowing. And for earning potential, I give this one a 5 out of 10. Phone side hustle number 6 is Clarity FM. Now, this next side hustle is good if you have some type of skill that you can help people with. There's a website called clarity.fm that you can sign up just using your phone and then advertise what you can help people with. For example, this could include business, video games, relationship advice, literally anything you know about that other people are also likely to want to know about. And then this gives people the opportunity to pay per minute to literally just talk on the phone with you and ask you questions. You can answer them and make money just using your phone by talking to people and giving them advice. For ranking this side hustle, for ease of starting, it gets an 8 out of 10. And this is assuming that you already have some skill that people are interested in learning about. For passiveness, it's a 1 out of 10. You are still trading your time for money and you have to talk with people on the phone in order to keep making money. But for earning potential, I give this one a 9 out of 10 because I saw a lot of people on clarity.fm charging super high prices. And as you build up your portfolio, you can charge higher and higher prices. Side hustle number 7 is GigWalk. GigWalk is an app that pays you to complete small local gigs. All you have to do is download the GigWalk app, and then you'll get what are called gigs sent to you, asking you to complete local tasks. And these can include checking to make sure that the right products are stocked in a certain grocery store near your house, or if there's a marketing event nearby, to make sure it's being run correctly. Now, you're probably not going to make a ton of money doing this. However, you can make some side income plus explore your neighborhood and your community a little bit more and learn about new places around you that you may not have known existed. As for how much you will get paid, the payouts can range between $3 and $100 per gig depending on the complexity, and they can take anywhere from 5 minutes to a few hours to complete. For ease of starting, I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. For passiveness, it gets a 1 out of 10, and for earning potential, I give this one a 3 out of 10. Side hustle number 8 is restaurant delivery. You can download the DoorDash app onto your phone and sign up to become a delivery driver. You do typically need a car for this, so that is something to take into consideration. And the way it works is that you make a base amount of money per order that you get, but then on top of that, you get to keep 100% of the tips that you get. And if you live in the United States or Canada, you can choose the option to get paid daily. And if you live outside those places, you can check if DoorDash is available in the place that you live. But if not, don't worry at all. There's probably an equivalent delivery service near you that you can still make money with. And if DoorDash isn't available in the place you live, you can also look into places like Uber Eats or Postmates. For ease of starting, I'm giving this one an 8 out of 10, assuming you do have a car. For passiveness, it gets a 1 out of 10. And for earning potential, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Side hustle number 9 is Instacart. Now, Instacart is just like those other delivery services we mentioned, but instead of delivering food from restaurants, you are delivering groceries. For the rankings, it's basically the same as the restaurant delivery apps. Phone side hustle number 10 is Thumbtack. With the Thumbtack app, you can get paid money to complete local jobs. For example, I've hired people on Thumbtack to take pictures for my personal brand, paint my house, and even to get a haircut. If you have any type of skill that you can help people locally with, you can sign up to the Thumbtack app on your phone and start getting clients for it. Now here's my rankings right here for this side hustle. Side hustle number 11 is Ibotta. Now if you go grocery shopping, you could potentially be missing out on a significant amount of money without even realizing it. You can actually download an app called Ibotta and get paid for buying certain things from grocery stores. Now the way that this works is the next time you're about to do a grocery run, all you have to do is download the app and check if your store is on it. Most of the top stores are on it, like Target and Walmart, etc. And then simply scroll through the list of products that it gives you to see if these are any things that you are going to buy anyway. And oftentimes when I use this app, I find things that I'm going to buy anyway, and then simply add those to your account. And they also routinely give bonus items where you get paid for buying any item as well. Then after your grocery trip, make sure to grab a receipt and you simply scan it with the app and get paid money. Now I personally have been using this app for the past couple years and I've made exactly $436.17 so far. Now this isn't going to make you a significant amount of wealth. However, it is extra money that you could be missing out on anyways if you don't do this. And if you're spending money anyways, might as well get some back. For ease of starting, this one gets a 10 out of 10. If you're doing grocery shopping anyways, it doesn't add much to your life to just scan a receipt. For passiveness, it only gets a 4 out of 10. And for earning potential, 2 out of 10. You might not make a ton of money, however, it can add up over time. Side hustle number 12 is Rakuten. Now the Rakuten app is quite similar to Ibotta, but it differs in that it's for all types of stores and not just grocery stores. For example, you can get money back for shopping at clothing stores, technology stores, and more. And once you download the app, all you have to do is make an account, and then you can actually link your credit card to your account so it'll sense if you buy something from one of the stores that they have listed. And then you can check through all the offers they have, and they usually have a ton of stores on there, and you'll see what % you'll get paid back. And then Rakuten will send you a physical check in the mail every single quarter if you made over a certain amount that you can then cash into your bank account. Now I personally have made $651.94 from Rakuten over the past couple years using it. For ease of starting, it gets a 9 out of 10. For passiveness, 4 out of 10, and for earning potential, 3 out of 10. Phone side hustle number 13 is Instagram. Now you may already have the Instagram app on your phone just for entertainment purposes, but what you may not have known is you can actually make a lot of money from Instagram without ever even being an influencer either. In fact, I personally know a ton of people who make a lot of money on Instagram running what are known as faceless Instagram theme pages. Now you might be asking, what in the world is that and how can you do it to make money? Well, these are pages where they post valuable content relating to a single niche. For example, the account Millionaire Mentor has over 10 million followers and it's within the business niche, and they just upload photos that are typically just some text on a picture, which you can easily make with something like Canva or Snappa or even Paint.net. And the way you make money doing this is by selling what are known as shoutouts. This is typically just an advertisement for some company or another account where you shout them out and you link back to their account within your post. and it costs you nothing to do once you've built up an account, and you can get paid for every single shout out that you do. Now you might be saying, Matt, that sounds great, but can you actually make significant money doing this? And it turns out you actually can. There's a lot of companies advertising on Instagram, and I personally have paid over $200,000 of my own money just buying Instagram shoutouts to promote my own account, which I then sell my course with. And you can sell shoutouts on places like shoutcart.com. And the beauty of running an Instagram page as well is that you can also promote affiliate offers or even your own product to make even more money. Now here's a checklist to grow your Instagram account super fast if you want to do this, and that is to post 2 to 3 times per day. Make sure to stay within a single niche, post feed posts, reels, stories, and IGTV content. Use good hashtags that relate to the actual content you're posting, and comment on other big pages within your niche. And there's nothing stopping you from also running a personal page if you do want to be an influencer as well. For example, I run the Make Money Matt Instagram page, and we also make a lot of money from it, but it's primarily through selling my own product as opposed to shoutouts with faceless Instagram niche pages. Now let's rank this phone side hustle. For the ease of starting, it gets a 3 out of 10 because it can take some time to build up an account to the point you're actually making money from it. That being said, it can be super worth it. For passiveness, I give it a 7 out of 10. You can schedule all of your content into the future for a long time and then take a break so your page is continuing to grow, and then sell shoutouts to make money. And I give the earning potential on this at a 9 out of 10 because once you do have some big pages, you can make a lot of money. Phone side hustle number 14 is digital products. If you have any sort of skill that other people want to learn about, you can literally record videos just using your phone and then upload them to an app like Udemy, which allows you to sell your videos as a course that then people can buy and then you make money. Now with Udemy, they will promote your course for you, so you don't have to go out there and do marketing with YouTube videos and everything else. Now, once you do grow a significant course business, I do recommend investing some money into a laptop so you can then go on that and then make an account with something called Kajabi that you can then sell your course on. Because unfortunately, if you do use Udemy, you do have to split like 50% of everything you make with them. So it's not the best deal, but if you just have a phone right now and that's your only way of making money, then it's certainly a way to start. But eventually, I'd love to see you put your course up on something like Kajabi so you can keep most of the money and then use a payment processor like Digistore24, get tons of affiliates to promote your course for you as well. And just to share with you the potential of selling courses, I personally make over $100,000 per month selling my YouTube course, Tube Mastery and Monetization, which simply teaches people what I know, which is how to grow faceless YouTube channels and potentially make money with them. For ease of starting, it gets a 3 out of 10. It can take some time to actually logically think out how you can structure your course in chronological order so you can teach someone in a way that makes sense. And then also, obviously, it takes time to actually script the content and record it. But the beauty is that once you have it done, it's done and it can sell potentially for years into the future. So for passiveness, I'm giving this one a 10 out of 10. And for earning potential, there's people out there just like me, I'm only 22 years old, making more than an average annual salary per month just with selling the course. So I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 just for earning potential as well. Side hustle number 15 is affiliate marketing. And yes, you can do that simply using your phone. If you go to websites on your phone's browser like Digistore24.com or clickbank.com and you go to the marketplace section, you'll see that there's tons of products to promote, whether they be courses, ebooks, etc. And for example, my YouTube course is even on Digistore24, and you can potentially sign up to promote that and get paid a 50% commission for every sale that you get. Now, you don't just have to promote my course. There's tons of products out there that you can promote if there's something you're more interested in. But just to give you an example, the way it works on Digistore is this. You go to their website and then you go to register for an account. You can also use the Digistore24 app. And then you go to their affiliate marketplace section and find a product that you'd like to promote. And personally, I would recommend promoting products that pay out at least $100 to $500 for each sale that you get. Meaning, if you promote a $1,000 course and you get paid 50%, then you get paid $500. That's pretty good, and there's typically no fulfillment costs with the course either, so that's almost pure profit right there. And then you simply click the Promote Now button, and they'll give you a magic link that then you can then copy and paste and promote as much as you possibly can to then get sales and make money. And you can also click the link below the affiliate marketplace listing as well, because it'll typically include affiliate assets, and these might include ads that you can use, webinars, and other stuff. And in terms of promoting these links, there's almost infinite options out there. I mean, you have YouTube, YouTube, which is my personal recommendation and my favorite way of promoting affiliate links, just due to the fact that those videos can live forever. I know we touched on that earlier, but also feel free to share affiliate links on Instagram, on TikTok accounts, any other social media you can think of, Facebook, emails, sharing with your friends and family. But I do only recommend promoting products that you truly believe in, that you think are good. You don't just want to make a quick buck, you want to sell someone something that they're going to actually use and get value from, because then you can sell them another thing and you can build a real relationship there. Now, I personally believe our YouTube course, Tube Mastery and Monetization, is the absolute best YouTube course on the market, with no exceptions. And I do personally answer every single question within the Facebook group of that community. So we go above and beyond to make it an epic product. And the reason I'm saying that is to give you an opportunity. If you did want to promote it, you can. You don't have to by any means though. But I always do try to make sure that every single person is taken care of. Now, what's great about affiliate marketing is that you don't have to take months to create your own product, and you can start promoting someone else's product from the beginning. Obviously, you do have to split the money with them, but if you don't want to make your own course, but you still want to make money doing this, this can be a great option. Now let's rank this side hustle. For ease of starting, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. For passiveness, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. That largely depends on your traffic source that you're going to use. If you use something like YouTube, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. But really, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 on average. And for earning potential, sky's the limit. We've had affiliates that have made $50,000 in a month promoting my course, and we've paid out well over $1 million to all of our affiliates. So I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10. Side hustle number 16 that you can do from your phone is selling stuff. Now, you may have some old stuff laying around. Check your closet, find some old clothes there. That could potentially be valuable. And you can potentially make money from those old unused items by just using your phone and creating listings on apps like Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, or Craigslist. You just take pictures of the items with your phone, list them on the apps that I mentioned, and sell them and make money. And you can also find potential products to sell from places like thrift stores or consignment stores. And while you're at the store, you can also go onto those apps, see if a particular item is valuable that you could sell for more than you buy it for. And this is one of the side hustles that I started when I was a broke teenager. Made a couple $100s a month with it. I didn't really do much with it. I think there's much more potential here if you really wanted to do this. And you can even find free stuff in your local area under the Craigslist free section. So all that being said, let's get into ranking this side hustle. For ease of starting, it gets a 7 out of 10, especially if you already have stuff that you can sell. For passiveness, it's not my favorite in that category. It only gets a 3 out of 10 in my opinion, due to the fact that you do have to actually keep listing items and selling them and going through that whole thing. You could potentially outsource this if you wanted to, but that does take some work. And for earning potential, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Side hustle 17 to make money using your phone is showing how to use apps. Now, if your phone has a screen recording app, and most phones nowadays do, then you can simply record your screen showing how to use different apps, your settings, or just your particular phone. And then you can upload these videos to YouTube and make money via ad revenue from them, like we discussed earlier in this video. And for example, this YouTube channel called Saki Tech has gone over 1 million subscribers and gets 2.4 million views per month. And that could be as much as $10,000 to $20,000 per month. And all he does is show how to use different apps on Samsung phones. For ease of starting, this one gets a 5 out of 10. For passiveness, an 8 out of 10. And for earning potential, a 9 out of 10. Side hustle number 18 that you can do from your phone to make money online is Etsy. And you could potentially use one of the biggest marketplaces out there, which is Etsy, to make money online, also using artificial intelligence. Now, when you think of Etsy, you probably think of creating DIY arts and crafts, because that's typically what is sold on Etsy. However, you can also use AI to potentially make money with Etsy. And the way it works is you can download the Etsy sellers app onto your phone, and then you simply make a listing just like this one right here. And as you can see, it says turn your photo into a painting. Now you might be asking, Matt, how do I turn people's photos into paintings? And there's actually tons of AI software out there that can do it. For example, Midjourney is one of them, but you can just look up apps on your app store, AI art generators or painting generators that you can do this with. And if we do the math just to see the earning potential on this, that Etsy store that I just showed you that turned people's photos into paintings has over 50,000 sales on it. And if they made $10 profit per sale, which I would guess they're making, if not even more, That's $500,000 doing this. For ease of starting, this one gets a 4 out of 10. For passiveness, it gets a 6 out of 10. And for earning potential, an 8 out of 10. Now here are the rankings from all of the side hustles that we just covered within this video. And as you can see right here, all of these side hustles have their pros and cons. Some are going to be easier to make money quickly by completing local gigs or doing surveys, and others may take a little bit of time to build up. They might take a couple months to start making some money, but they can potentially set you up for life. For example, selling digital products, running YouTube channels, and stuff like that, which you can certainly do from your phone. Now you might be asking, Matt, if you were to start your own side hustle from your phone, if you're starting over from scratch, what side hustle would you do? Now personally, I have a few favorite side hustles. I'm gonna share them on the screen right here. These are what I would personally consider doing, especially with an emphasis on YouTube and digital products. Now check out this video right here to see me create a faceless video from scratch, literally just using my phone. You can actually watch over my shoulder as I create a faceless video from scratch. And I know this video is titled like the smartest way to make 10K per month online, and that's because in my opinion, it truly is. Check out this video right here. I share how to do it just using your phone, and you can actually see me make a video from scratch. So check it out. Thanks for watching. My name is Matt Parr, and I will see you there. I went from having $300 in my bank account as a high schooler to being a multi-millionaire just a few years later. And just saying these words out of my mouth honestly sounds fake, but it's true, and this is my story. Now, if you guys don't know me, my name is Matt Parr, and I'm a 22-year-old, and I know that the title of this video sounds unbelievable, but it's the truth, and even though talking about my story here honestly makes me a little bit uncomfortable, I'm still gonna share this with you because I think that it can provide a lot of value to people out there who want to level up their lives. I literally went from being depressed, not knowing what I was going to do with my life, and honestly just feeling like giving up on everything, to making millions of dollars, traveling the world in first class, completing bucket list items I've always wanted to do, like dive over 1,000 feet deep in a submarine. And now at this point, I literally don't worry about money at all. And on top of that, I've gotten millions of subscribers on YouTube, play buttons, awards, and I run an education company now with over 7,000 students. Now my story starts in the year 2000. That's when I was born to a middle-class family in the Midwestern United States. Now, by no means was my family rich, but we weren't poor either. We weren't in poverty or anything. We're a normal middle-class family, and my parents worked hard for both my younger sister and I to grow up and live a decent life. So at a very young age, I was brought up seeing working hard associated with getting money. So I made that connection in my brain early on that the only way to live a decent, good life is to put in a lot of work and trade time for money. I had a great childhood. I was super creative as a kid. Like, I would always write stories to entertain my younger sister and stuff, and everything was great until it wasn't. And I realized that this wasn't going to last forever. This was just a temporary thing, and eventually I was going to have to grow up and get a job just like everybody else did. And I came to this realization when I was in middle school. I kind of had like an existential crisis, wondering like, what's the meaning of this whole thing? Like, I saw my parents, they were working 9-to-5 jobs, and they didn't really seem to love them. They were just doing the best that they could to provide for their family, and I wasn't looking forward to have to go through that as well. Now, I personally never really cared for school whatsoever. As I got older, I actually started to hate it more and more, having to go in and learn about things that I didn't want to learn about and that I didn't feel would benefit me in my life in the future. And like, I would come home from school, I would take my homework and I would show it to my parents, and I would ask them, are you even using this stuff that I'm learning in your jobs or in your everyday life? And they would tell me no, but you have to go to school, get good grades, and then that's going to translate into being able to go to a good college, which in turn will allow you to get a job. And it's not like I wanted a job like they had, but honestly, I didn't know of any other options that even existed out there. So at the time, I kind of just figured, you know, I'm gonna have to go through with this script that's kind of been laid out for me. It's like someone else wrote the story of my life somewhat, and the story seemed to go like this. I would finish high school, go to college, work little by little to pay off the college debt, buy a house with a mortgage, work my whole life to pay that off as well, then hopefully retire when I'm super old and live the last couple years of my life enjoying what I did with most of my time, and then die. Sounds fun, right? Now, the reason I'm telling you this is kind of to preface everything that was going on in my life at this time, because I had some major changes coming up that I had no idea were about to happen. But everything changed for me when I was in 5th or 6th grade, I believe. I realized that I could go to the dollar store, which is basically a store here in the United States where you can buy things for $1, where everything in it is $1. So I went to the dollar store and I saw that there was Pop-Tarts for sale for $1, like a whole package of them. And I saw at school they were selling Pop-Tarts at the school lunch line for $1 each. So one package of 5 Pop-Tarts, if I sold all 5, boom, them, I would make $4 of profit. And so that's exactly what I did. I started selling Pop-Tarts at school at lunch, and over the course of a couple months, I had over $300 saved up. Now, this is the first money that I ever made in my life, and I thought it was awesome. I could literally go to the store and buy something if I wanted to. I felt like I had everything figured out in my life until, of course, some of the teachers at my school shut it down. And I went straight back to not knowing what I was going to do. Now, around that time also, my sister and I found out about a website called YouTube.com. Now, at the time, we just consumed YouTube and we would watch videos like prank videos, scary stories, and stunt videos. And while watching those videos, I saw people living their dream lives, being able to travel full-time if they wanted to, do literally whatever they wanted with their lives, and I thought that looked so cool. So at this point, this kind of infected my mind that this was possible. Success was possible. So at 12 years old, I started my first YouTube channel, and I started uploading just like backyard pranks, stunts, just stuff that I was doing with my friends. I would upload it to YouTube, and you know, I'd be lucky if a video got 50 or 100 views. And at that time, I kind of just figured that, you know, maybe those people I was watching on YouTube, maybe they were destined to be successful, and maybe it just wasn't in the cards for me. So I didn't really think much of it. I thought it might just be some fun thing to do. Now, fast forward a little bit, by the time I was 14 years old in 2014, at this point, I absolutely hated school with a passion. I dreaded hearing the alarm clock go off every single day super early, and we lived way out in the country, so we had to ride the bus for like an hour just to get to school. And then in school, I'm sitting for hours in a classroom learning about subjects I literally have no interest in, and at that point, I kind of just zoned out in my life. And I don't know if you guys have ever felt like this, but I kind of became apathetic about everything, and I didn't really care about anything too much. And I guess you could say I was depressed at this time as well, and this affected my friendships at school because honestly, I was just kind of zoned out during this time and not paying attention to anything, just kind of like, well, this is my life, this is the cards I've been dealt, I guess I have to go through with it. And I kind of felt like I had no free will, my whole life was written for me, and because of that, I kind of took my resentment out on the people that I cared about. So at this time, there was a lot of family conflict as well. I stopped caring about school, so I didn't really get good grades. My parents weren't happy about that. They just wanted what was best for me, and they believed that, you know, getting good grades, going to college would do that. And it was at this point that I knew that time was running out as well. In just a couple years, I was going to be graduating high school, and of course, that meant going to college and potentially working a job. Now, it was at this point that I would spend some time watching YouTube, and this is when my life completely changed. I came across a YouTube channel called Top Fives, and whoever is out there running this channel probably has no idea that this was such a pivotal moment in my life. But when I came across this YouTube channel, I saw that the person who was running that channel was literally just creating faceless videos, talking about different cool subjects, scary videos and stuff like that, and they would just upload it to YouTube, and they did that consistently, and they got millions of views on their videos. Now, at this point, I didn't even know how you could make money on YouTube. I didn't know how any of that worked, but I saw them succeeding on YouTube, right? And I thought to myself, if they can do it, why can't I? You know, I got nothing to lose at this point. I'm just gonna try it. So I took this really crappy iPhone that I had at the time. The screen was all cracked, and I used the voice recorder, started recording voiceovers, started editing the videos together on my laptop that barely worked. And literally within one day of finding out about that channel, I started my very own YouTube channel. And even though I had no idea where this would lead me in the future, I took a chance. So for a few months, I uploaded videos on my channel with absolutely no results. I was just kind of trying to model what already worked on YouTube, just creating similar stuff. Nothing really seemed to be working at that point. And it was just another day, just like every other day, where I'd wake up, dread going to school, and I checked my YouTube analytics, and I saw that one of my videos got 100,000 views. And at this point, I was ecstatic. I couldn't contain myself. This was one of the first successes that I ever had in my life. And I don't know if you guys have ever felt like this, where you want so badly for something to work, and then it does. And I remember that day showing all my friends on the school bus that my video got 100,000 views, just bragging about it. And at this point, there was nothing that was going to stop me. I doubled down on YouTube. I started uploading videos every single day on my channel, literally spending every bit of free time that I could on this, even time that wasn't supposed to be free. I was supposed to be working on homework. I basically put school on the back burner at this point and just focused fully on YouTube as much as I possibly could. And I kind of treated YouTube as a video game. So I started taking notes, like what worked, what didn't, like, oh, this type of title works for this scenario. These types of thumbnails seem to do really well. And I still wasn't making any money at this point until I read this article online about some of the top YouTubers making millions of dollars per year. And some of these people were like my age or even younger than me, and they were making millions of dollars from YouTube. So I looked into this a little bit, and I found that the main way of making money on YouTube is something called the YouTube Partner Program. And this is where you sign up for it, and they will pay you a percentage of the ad revenue that they get from people putting ads on your videos. So I thought that was pretty cool. I signed up for it as soon as I possibly could, and at this point it's like early 2015. And just like that, flipping a light switch, I was making $3,000 per month. This was more than all my friends. This was life-changing money at that age. And of course, I didn't have any expenses either, so I was basically rich. Now, my parents and teachers at that point, they thought that was cool. They were happy for me, but they were concerned as well, rightfully so. How long is this gonna last? They've never seen something like this before. Now, going forward to 2016, I was just working on my YouTube channel nonstop, and as if things couldn't get any better, I had my first video get over 1 million views. Like, that's a proper viral video if you guys are into YouTube, and I was honestly just so happy about that. And at this point, it's very strange to say, but I was making more money than my parents. But things were not as good as they seemed. In fact, I had to spend every waking minute of my life basically focused on YouTube to get these kind of results, and I basically had no social life whatsoever. I didn't have any time to spend with friends. I didn't have any time to play Xbox or video games or anything. Like, literally all my time was consumed in this. And there was still a lot of family conflict because I wasn't focusing on school like my parents wanted me to. Teachers at my school weren't happy. I had to balance YouTube and just doing like the bare minimum not to fail my classes. So I knew this wasn't really sustainable, and even if I became an adult, I would literally not have any life outside of doing this, and I knew that wasn't a life that I wanted to live. So at this point, this is kind of humiliating to say, but the only thing I knew about business at this point was from a Dr. Seuss book called The Lorax. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but basically in that book, there's a guy who figures out how to make money selling this thing, and the only way that he scaled it was hiring other people to do the work for him. Now, it's kind of a bad example. He's like the villain of the story and stuff, but you get my point, and that was the only thing I knew about business. So I made a job post on a website called Upwork.com looking for someone to do the voiceovers, because that was one of the parts I hated about this the most. I didn't like the way my voice sounded or anything, so I found this guy to replace me and do the voiceovers for me. And this was an absolute game changer for me because I essentially put together a video creation machine where I would just come up with the video ideas, and then I would pass that along to a script writer who would write the script, and then they would give it to the voiceover artist who would then give it to the video editor who would then finally send it back to me, and I would then upload the video. And I also hired a thumbnail designer as well. And this freed up a ton of time for me, but I was so accustomed to working on YouTube and stuff at this point that I started making more channels in different niches and outsourcing those from the start. And in 2017, I reached what was at the point my all-time goal with YouTube, which was getting over 100,000 subscribers. And in turn, they give you what's known as a silver play button, basically an award for reaching that milestone. So I got the silver play button. Honestly, I'm just on top of the world at this point. This like meant absolutely everything to me. And it was around this point as well where I bought my dream car, which was a blue Ford Mustang. And going forward now into 2018, this is when I graduated high school. And I remember before then, I was literally just counting down the days. Like, when is this nightmare going to be over? And at this point, I was making $30,000 a month from ad revenue from my different YouTube channels. Honestly, crazy to say. And a lot of people close to me, including family members, kids at my school and stuff, they were asking me how they could do YouTube as well. How could they do what I was doing? Because they saw I was getting some success at this point. They wanted to learn as well. So I looked into it a little bit, and I saw people, selling courses online, teaching other people how to do this. So I thought, I'm gonna give it a shot. At this point, I was still really awkward, scared to get in front of a camera. I would never in my wildest dreams think that I'd be able to sit in front of a camera and record a video just like this. But in October of 2018, I started my YouTube channel called Make Money Matt, actually the same one you're watching right now. But about a week before making the channel, I spent about a week putting together a very rudimentary version of my YouTube strategy and my YouTube program. And to give you an idea of how low tech this was, it's literally just a screen recording with a slideshow and me just showing how to grow on YouTube. And that's literally all it was. It took me a week to put together. So by the time I uploaded my first video on Make Money Matt, I did have a YouTube program, and at the time I didn't know how much to charge for it or even where to start doing this, so I just priced it at $100 and hope for the best. Now, over the next few weeks after I launched my channel, since I was actually the one making the videos, it's kind of embarrassing to say, but I only uploaded 5 videos on the channel. And in all honesty, the videos were terrible. Like, you guys can go back and watch my first videos. They're just screen recordings. I didn't honestly expect much, and Make Money Matt was just kind of an experiment I was doing too, just to see if it was even something that I wanted to do in the first place. And I remember very clearly one day, I'm driving around in my car and I get a notification on my phone. And I check my phone and I see that I just sold one of my courses for $100. And at this point, I only have 5 videos on my channel. I sold a course for $100, and a light bulb went off in my mind, and I was like, holy crap. I just added $100 to my daily income just with one course, 5 videos that barely got any views. Imagine if I got 100,000 views per month on this channel, or 500,000 or 1,000,000 views per month. I knew that not only could I change a ton of people's lives and show them my YouTube strategy, but make a ton of money in the process as well. Now at this point, I was already making a lot of money with my other YouTube channels, but the fact that my channel only had a couple videos on it and made this much, I kind of projected out into the future what might be possible with this. And over the next few months, after uploading a bunch of videos, I had one kind of take off, get like 100K views, and Make Money Matt got to the point of making over $1,000 a day with selling my courses, and I made over $27,000 in a single month just a couple months after starting the channel in early 2019. So I was making just as much as my niche channels with just one channel. Now around that time in 2019, I realized it was a time for a change, and even though this was really difficult for me, I moved out of my parents' house and I packed up my car and I drove all the way to California because I saw so many YouTubers living there and stuff. I knew that's where a lot of the technology was being created as well. So I moved to California, and that's where I actually met my girlfriend as well. And I took a break from Make Money Matt for a while because at the time, there's so many things changing in my life. You know, finding a place to live, being an independent adult for the first time in my life. I was also creating companies for my businesses, consulting lawyers and accountants, and figuring out basically how to live as an adult. And eventually I did get over my fear of getting in front of a camera, and I'll tell you the secret to that. I basically just recorded 100 videos, which I never uploaded to YouTube until I was good enough to just be able to talk to a camera like this. And I decided to scrap the original version of my YouTube course. I didn't think it was good enough, and instead I was going to create a new course that literally went over everything step by step in a very chronological manner. So in order to do this, I actually did something very strange. I sold my course before ever creating it. Now you might be asking, Matt, how in the world did you do that? The way that I did that was I did a webinar on my YouTube channel selling my course, telling them that I was going to teach it to them live. If they bought it, I'll just basically teach you everything I know live, plus they'll get live consulting from me on that call. And we did that, and I made over $10,000 in a single day on that webinar. And this is the first time I ever made that much money in just a single day. Then over the next couple of weeks, I delivered the program, created a private Facebook group for it. Over the next couple months, I spent time building out the absolute best YouTube program on the market. All the while, my YouTube channel was growing as well, and I was starting to buy shout outs on my Instagram page at Make Money Matt also, and then selling the course in the DMs. And I was like, that was great with that webinar, but I can't be doing a webinar every single day. So I automated the webinar, meaning it could sell at all hours of the day, no matter what, even when I was sleeping, and it could still get sales. And now that brings us to the year 2020, which was an absolutely explosive year in terms of just my business, personal growth, so many things. And at the start of 2020, my course was making about $2,000 per day, and my faceless niche channels were making about $1,000 a day. And this rapidly scaled up over the course of the next few months as I just kept putting out more and more videos. I bought more shoutouts on Instagram, started buying ads on YouTube as well to promote my course, and it got to the point where in March of 2020, I'll never forget this, was the first month that I made over $100,000 in a single month. And this was a huge turning point in my life because ever since that month, I've never made less than that per month. And then going forward into July of 2020, we actually moved to Florida because I really like beaches. There's summer all year and no income taxes, and I was starting to make a lot of money at this point. And my YouTube course crossed over $1 million in revenue. And going forward into August of 2020, my course crossed over $1 million in revenue, literally one day before I turned 20 years old. So I could say that I was a millionaire as a teenager for a day. And in 2020, we did way over $1 million with my course. So I also got the 2 Comma Club award from ClickFunnels that they give you when you make over $1 million using their platform right here. Now going forward into 2021, everything was going great, but there was still a really big problem in my life. You see, I was still really afraid to spend money. Even though I was making a lot of money, at this point I was in the 0.0001% for my age, I was still deathly afraid to spend it. So I'm like renting a house that's like less than 1% of my monthly income, still doing all my grocery shopping and everything. And then I read a book that completely changed my whole mindset on all this stuff, and it's called Die with Zero. And basically the premise of that book was that you're not going to be taking your money with you when you die, and if you make enough money to still be able to retire and everything, it might be worth it to spend on some experiences to still live a good life. So this changed my whole perspective on things. And in 2021, I completed a lifelong dream of diving off the coast of California in a submarine to over 1,000 feet deep, and that did cost $18,000. And I believe that I would not have done that if I didn't read that book. But when I got back home from that, I just went right back to work. And now in 2022, literally just last year, I started again getting really bored with life. You see, my life was kind of of just one big routine, doing the same thing over and over every single day. I don't know if you've ever felt like that before. And I was just staring at a computer screen for like 9 or 10 hours a day. It wasn't healthy. So I decided to make a change in my routine, and we traveled to Europe for the first time in my entire life, and we flew business class, which was really cool. And this completely blew my mind that there's a whole world out there just waiting to be explored. So I desperately then wanted to travel more. That being said, and in 2022, I also bought my dream home, which I'm sitting in right now. But even though I bought my dream home, I haven't spent as much time here as I'd like to because I've just been trying to travel so much. So this brings me now to 2023. And so far this year, I've gone to over 20 countries. I run over a dozen different YouTube channels. I've gotten millions of subscribers between all my channels. We have over 7,000 students in my Facebook group, and we have a Trello board of literally hundreds, if not thousands of results from students who built their own YouTube businesses, and in some cases empires. I was literally just talking to someone the other day who's in my Facebook group making over $30,000 per month by implementing my program, and that's literally as much as I make with my faceless channel. So I was telling them I've taught you literally everything you need to know, and now some of my students are even surpassing me. I'm also on good terms with my parents again, which I'm so happy about, and overall I'm just really happy with life. And even though there's a lot of dark times in my life, nobody's life is perfect. Even if it looks that way from the outside, I've had a much easier life than most people, and I don't want this video to come across the wrong way. Obviously it is subjective, so if people have even had easier lives than me, they still go through a lot of hardships and suffering, and I totally understand that. And your journey out there, whoever's out there watching this video, is going to look different than mine. But the reason I'm making this video is to show you that if I can have success, I literally almost gave up so many times throughout this journey, then you can too. And I know I'm super young, but hopefully this can inspire people at any age that anything is possible. You can make your dreams come true if you put in the work and if you believe in yourself at any age. Now, if you're ready to start writing your story and creating your journey, whatever that might look like to you, then hopefully this video inspired you. And if it got you interested in doing YouTube at all, you can check out this video next to me right here. It's basically a completely free course which teaches you how to grow faceless YouTube channels and make money from them. So check it out. I'll see you right there. Feel free to subscribe as well if you like this, and I will see you next time.
Hey there, my name is Brian, and I just wanted to give a shout out to Matt Parr and the amazing course that he's actually put together. I really didn't know anything about YouTube and the power that it actually has and what you can do with it as far as making money. So I just wanted to give Matt, just a real shout out of what he put together. Again, I went through the whole course. It took me about, I don't know, a couple weeks to get through it, just because I had, I have other stuff going on, so I only had a little bit each day. But anyways, he talks, as you can see here, this is what the modules look like. He talks about choosing a niche. He talks about how to set up the channel for success, making and uploading the videos, the growth module. He talks about monetization, which was awesome. God, that was awesome. I can't believe all the different ways you could use YouTube to do things with. And scaling, of course. Look, there's a lot of crap out there on the internet, and most of it is crap. This is the real deal, I'm telling you. You definitely want to get this course. You probably should have charged, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times what he does charge. So you will not be disappointed. Super excited, Matt. Thanks a lot. I look forward to following everything you said to do and having my own success. So talk soon.
Hey guys, it's John Thomasberg. Wanted to come to you today with a review of Matt Parr's course, Tube Mastery and Monetization. Now, before I get into reviewing this course, I wanted to be very clear and transparent that I have not been paid to do this review. I paid for his course 100% out of my pocket, so you can be sure that this is unbiased and straightforward review without any kind of slant to it. So with that said, Matt's course is broken down into a modular step-by-step approach, and it makes you understand what YouTube is looking for, helps you plan for SEO, topics, keywords around what the algorithm is looking for, and he's built a system that's proven to work, and it's not just guesswork. So it takes what would otherwise take months or years to figure out on your own, and breaks it down into a step-by-step program to understand exactly from start to finish how to turn a YouTube channel from nothing into something that's making money in just a few short months. He goes into choosing what types of different channels there are, and then goes into how to analyze what profitable niches are, how to do keyword research, what online tools to get, both some free, some not, to help leverage and get additional information. to help you do this research and come up with these topics and ideas. So it's not just a, here's these few things. It's a system for you to be able to use over and over again to teach you how to do the work, but gives you a system by which to understand what YouTube wants. And ultimately that ends up being the pathway for you to make your own secret sauce, so to speak, using his techniques, but then turning it into your own thing to be able to leverage YouTube's algorithm. And it basically saves you countless hours from having to figure this stuff out yourself. Most importantly, what happens is it translates all the ways you're able to strategize and make money on YouTube, and the techniques and tips that he's come across. So one of the other things that was a worry to me at first about Matt's course was I saw how young this kid is, right? And so I'm 46. He's young enough to be my kid. So why am I going to pay for advice from somebody that, is my son's age, right? But the guy knows his stuff. I'll admit it here. He's a real deal. He knows what he's talking about. So even though he's got a charismatic sales pitch and knows how to speak quite well in his videos, he actually walks the walk and knows what he's talking about. So glad to report that. Let's see what else. So I'm just now starting to apply the principles that I've learned in his course. And so with that said, success is still on the ramp up. I haven't gotten to the point of monetization yet. It takes some time to do that because, as you may or may not know, in order to become part of YouTube's monetization program, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours worth of view time before you can be, per channel, before you can be considered for monetization. So working on getting that done, but so far things are looking good, and I think that with what's Matt taught in this course, that's very doable in a short amount of time. So let's be clear, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You have to put in the work. I like to think about it like as if you're a farmer and you're having to sow the seeds and tend the garden for a while, and daily and weekly maintain this thing, and eventually you do it for a little while, and all of a sudden you start to bear a huge harvest. So that's what I would liken this system to. If you're looking for another scam in a box that somebody wants to sell you with driving around Bentleys and Lamborghinis and making it rain with hundreds and all that kind of stuff, and making it look like it's for 2 hours a month you can be a billionaire. No, that's not it. Requires some work, requires some thought, but he lays out a very well thought out system for you to be able to use and shortcut all of the things that would have otherwise taken months to figure out on your own, and makes it a very step-by-step approach. So that's the value, I would say, in this program. And then on top of that, he also does give you some, within the course, some scripts and templates to use that are downloadable from the online course within it. And then on top of that, gives you free access to his invite-only Facebook group, so that if you've got any questions or want to just simply interact with other people that have just taken the course as well, that's something that's made available to you, and I've found it useful so far. So with that said, I want to thank Matt for making this course, because I know, Matt, if you end up watching this somehow, thank you for making this. I know you could have made a lot more money not doing it and just continue to make your stacks, but I appreciate you taking the time out to be able to take a little bit of money on a course like this and teach other people how to repeat what you've been doing with success. So thank you very much. To everyone else, it's the real deal. It's gonna work. So all you have to do, if you're willing to put in the work and willing to follow his system step by step, you can't lose. It's gonna work. But there's, he's taking all the variables and guesswork out of it. So my suggestion is, if you don't mind putting in the work and are looking to do what it takes, then pluck down the money and go get this class. It'll be well worth your time. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Claire. I just finished Matt's course within the last 3 days, and I must say I'm very impressed in how detailed and how easy it is to understand. For me, English is not my first language, and I'm not really that tech savvy, but I was able to understand everything, and I'm about to start to implement the strategies and tactics from the course. Surprisingly, after going through every lesson in the course, YouTube doesn't seem to be that complex for me anymore. I'm really glad I made the decision to join it. But if you're not tech savvy like I am, don't worry about it. After you enroll, you will have access to the Facebook group for the members of the program, where it's very easy for you to post a question and you can get the answer that you want. If you are like me, you have all the basic questions that you're too shy to ask, you can always search in the community and you're more than likely to get the answer that you want, because it's very likely that someone else has had the same question. So I hope to see you there.
Hello, hi everyone. This is Abdullah from Dubai. I just took Matt's course for YouTube Mastery. I've done a lot of courses in my life, like a lot. And I've done even YouTube courses as well and so on. To be very honest, this course was absolutely fantastic. I really loved every part of it, and I really didn't want it to finish. So if there are more courses or more sessions from Matt, he is so detailed, so customer service oriented. He will show you everything from start to finish. So I highly recommend this course, and looking forward for more videos and more courses from Matt, and even collaboration with him. So best of luck, and I highly appreciate this course to everyone. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hey, how's it going, digital world? My name is Jean, and I just completed Matt's YouTube course. I can say that I got a lot of good information off of his course, especially if you're looking to start your own YouTube channel. I think it's very important to check out his training course. It's worth every penny. When you invest in yourself, the sky's the limit after that. So I have to give credit when it's due. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you. Keep up the good work, and I look forward to doing business with you in the future. Peace.
I must say that Matt Parr's YouTube Mastery and Monetization video was informative. It was detailed. It gave me everything I need to get started in creating my own YouTube channel. I am so happy, and as a matter of fact, I purchased this course during the pandemic while the state of Maryland was shut down. I used a PayPal 6-month no interest loan because I'm unemployed right now. So I took a risk, and that's what I did to finance the course. And I feel that it was well worth it, and hopefully by 6 months it'll pay for itself. But he has motivated me to learn a lot more about YouTube, and the fact that he broke down the different ways that you can make money in YouTube, that alone was priceless. So I'm very happy that I was introduced to Matt by an affiliate, and I look forward to learning more from Matt and definitely making the most out of my YouTube channel. So definitely, it's money well worth investing in yourself, learning about the YouTube platform, and definitely learning it from Matt. So much success, sending blessings your way.